Hi there, welcome to the new bright and shiny Munition- und Waffeninstandsetzungsbuchsenmacherwerkstatt Niederlassung Chappendorf in its new location. And yeah, I hope you're all doing alright in the current lockdown situation. Things haven't been actually that bad here in this part of Switzerland. The ranges were shut and they're now slowly reopening as long as social distancing can be sensibly enforced. And yeah, so just one thing I wanted to tell you, and maybe it's something you can try out yourselves in your home range, maybe, or apartment, if the neighbours don't mind. Before the lockdown, I got this really rather nice French 1873 revolver, and never got a chance to try it out. You obviously have to reload for these. It's a black powder revolver, obviously. So I had some cases modified. Well, I modified them. These are old 4440 cases. All they need doing is chopping down and the rim thinned, which was no problem on the lathe. But then I needed bullets, which are normally healed bullets. So I never got a chance to try it out. Yeah, so nonetheless, I thought there's got to be a way that I could maybe do something indoors with it. You know, my obsession with the little indoor kits. So I had several options. The first one was to maybe modify the air cartridges that I have for 44 Special. But that's no. For one, the pellets here are too small. The revolver is more on the 45 side than the 44, so these would rattle off down bore. And these really can't be modified. They are extremely high pressured once charged, so I really don't want to start cutting into the pressure cylinder. So that was no chance. But for those who know the Spear indoor system for 38 Special, I thought maybe this would be an idea. So these are, in this case, plastic cartridges with a primer hole which is a bit loosely tolerant, so you can usually just push them in by hand, and an enlarged primer hole which is necessary so you don't get too much primer backing out, which always happens when you've got no powder or a very low powder charge. And they fire this hard plastic cylinder, and it works fairly well, depending on the condition of your rifling. I find in my rather loose 38 it tends to keyhole a bit. In the Manuin M73, which is extremely tight, they work perfectly. Anyway, so that was the idea. What could I use as a projectile? I mean, I can drill out a couple of flash holes on my modified cases. I found through testing that 4mm was good enough. You still get a tiny bit of backing out, but the cylinder revolves without too much trouble. That leaves actually not very much support for the primer, just enough. But it does mean that the anvil will fly out behind the bullet. So be careful not to have too many glass things around, like that's never happened before. So yeah, the other option I had was maybe I could use the flash paper type system, but that also through testing I found out that once you go above 8mm it really doesn't work. You need so much paper in there that you may as well put a pinch of powder, and then it's too loud and smoky, and so no good. So back to the projectile. Suddenly had an epiphany. Thought, hang on, I've got my indoor black powder revolver kit. The link in the description below. It was a while back, which fires these enormous, basically rubber air pellets. So with a cavity with a skirt, and expands nicely. And this is basically 45 caliber. It's for in my case, for the Rogers and Spencers, which takes a 4.51 ball, and by happy coincidence they just fit exactly in the case, and so just push them in. They have a little cone just behind the tip, so it centers itself nicely in the case as well, which is a big help. And yeah, then you just put in my case, a large pistol primer. You could put a Magnum one if you wanted to, but I didn't find it necessary. I've got 5 meters here available to shoot, and that's more than enough, and it gives a hefty thwack on the target, as you'll see. And so yeah, I'll load up the revolver and just show you what the accuracy is like. This was one I shot earlier, and all the holes are nice and round, so a nice woodcuttery type impact there. And I'll wear some earplugs, but you don't really need to. So yeah, let's go and see what it does. Now, one thing I will do, just won't show on camera, is the instructions for the indoor percussion kit say to give a squirt of oil down the barrel every cylinder or so. Okay, there's the target over there. It's a little air pistol target with a couple of layers of thick felt blanket behind it inside a box. Alright, see what it's capable of. Let's go take a look. So that's not too shabby. There's a nice 3-round group there, dare I say it. I wanged one down there, unfortunately, and that was more or less my aiming mark. So I don't know how well that will compare to live cartridges. And yeah, the rubber pellets just basically bounce off this. It doesn't go through it. It's intact here, and there's one that's bounced off. The others are strewn over the floor. So these are ready to be reused. Just change the primers, thumb these back in, give it a little spray of oil down the barrel, and you're good to go for another round. So I hope that's given you some ideas, maybe to pass the time at this current time. And thank you for watching, and I hopefully will see you back on the real range very soon. Bye!